Thank you for joining us on Merit Matters, a virtual series highlighting current events, industry experts, and local community engagement. I am your host, Tammy Berklid, Principal of Merit Construction, and today I'll be discussing our latest campaign, Build What Matters, with my friend Josh Dunn of Premier Media Group. He does so much for the business leaders of the South Puget Sound and is always working to be a light to others.
Hi, Josh. It's so good to have you here.
Glad to be here. This is an awesome treat.
Yeah, it's so great to see you and have a one-on-one time with you. Normally, we're kind of in a group setting. So I know you know about our Build What Matters campaign, and we're just really trying to get the community excited about all things good, whether that's professional or personal or whatever. And one of the people that came to mind instantly was you. I think that you are so great about lifting others up and trying to find ways to help within your community. So I'm hopeful that you can share a little bit kind of about who you are, your role at South Sound, and all of your, South Sound Industries. I'm not sure how broad we should make that. But yeah, just give us a little start to who you are and your role, your professional role.
Okay. End of the day, I'm an entrepreneur. I love business. I love coming up with ideas. I love rallying around others on ideas. Been an entrepreneur for about 20 years. Launched Premier Media, which is kind of the parent company, so to speak, for our media company. So we have essentially two strong markets that we serve. The Bellevue East Side area, we have 425 Magazine, which is a regional lifestyle community magazine, kind of like a Sunset, but for that area. And then we have a business brand that we do business events and a business magazine and daily journalism around that. We also have that here in Tacoma in the South Sound, and that is where we're headquartered. Born and raised here in the South Sound my entire life. Our family's here. And just passionate about business and servanthood and giving back to our community. And my title officially is kind of like a publisher, which oversees our editorial, our sales, marketing, finance. And I think the philosophy in business is just hire amazing people that make us all look really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm a college dropout entrepreneur. I've been married for 25 amazing years to my best friend and have two adult kiddos and a fifth grader. So just love life, love being a dad, love being a husband. Unfortunately, couldn't really get out of our little area for our 25th anniversary here a few months ago, but I'll make it up to my wife when we're able to travel a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of the makeup of who Josh is.
I love that. I think it's so important to make sure that we're bringing our best self home to our family. So that's a huge blessing. So you guys have been around now for basically almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
What do you think? You said earlier to me that you're entrenched in the business world. What do you think are a couple of lessons, or at least one lesson that you've learned during that time that would be helpful to other people, other entrepreneurial types, that might just carry them through some difficult stuff, or help them avoid it?
I think some of the things that's important for us as local entrepreneurs is find ways to get plugged into the community and serve. What I've found is if you get involved in any organization, whether it's a leads group or a nonprofit or a service club, if your intent is to get out of it something, then it's just the wrong heart. But if your intent is to serve and to give back, every organization can use your gift set. I'm not a finance guy. That's just not my strength. So you're not going to see me in a finance committee on a various organization, but marketing, leadership, connections, that's my strength. And so I think for all of us, when you serve and you give back and you get plugged into your community, you build up this network of relationships that also help carry your brand. Your brand is connected to your personal brand, to your family brand, to your company brands. It's beautiful to see how that can carry you through in business, especially during a season of COVID, where your brand power has already been established, and it carries you through when you don't have the chance to connect like you used to. And so I think getting plugged in, so many entrepreneurs I find get stuck in the weeds of their own silo, their own business, and they fail to lock arms and grab on to others and help the fight to, give back and serve our community.
I think that's so wise and so real. I think when times are tough, that's when you need that group, that army that you're talking about that has locked arms and that that they're going to have your back and
Right.
you have theirs. One of the things that that you did right away when we started going through the pandemic was gather up some of those people that have been that for you. Share with me and our listeners a little bit about what your thought process was there.
Yeah, I felt it was important that for all of us as leaders, we need to be connected to other leaders. When this COVID-19 started breaking right away in that first week of March, it was really beginning to impact us, and we all feel it in different ways. We feel it on our teams. We feel a health issue. We feel economic issue. We feel the unknown of communication. And I thought it was really important that we rally around other CEOs, other leaders that are in totally different organizations, but are feeling, sensing, doing, igniting new ideas all around us. And I thought it was important that we get on a call right away and just talk it through. Like, how do we navigate this? What are you seeing from a brewery perspective? What are you seeing from a landscape design perspective? What are you seeing from a commercial construction, from residential? Like, we all have different silos, but if we come together, it honestly, it's encouraging to me to know, oh, Tammy's okay. She's redoing some of her job site, protocol, but she's okay. We're good. You're good. I'm good. Oh, landscape guy, you're good. I'm good. So it starts to build some confidence. Like, okay, we have this. So that's why I felt it was important that we generate some of those calls to help us just be a breath of fresh air for each other.
Yeah, and that was actually a CEO roundtable. You took people from Tacoma that you knew already and added a couple new people to just sort of take the pulse of the community. And I think not only did it do that for you, that comfort level of, okay, we're okay. I think it did it for all the rest of us as well. So I thought that was such a huge thing. And it was really helpful to me. I feel like it helped really deepen our relationship, and it kind of gave me an insight to who you are as a person. So I guess there's a couple things that I think are kind of fun to know. Who are two people that have been the most influential to you, and why? Like, just share kind of about why they mean something to you.
Yeah, I think the first and foremost, when it comes to kind of the entrepreneurship side of my life, my grandfather has been and continues to be an amazing piece of my life. He's on my board. He's been with me since day one. His skill sets are different than my skill sets, and so it's a compliment and it's also a challenge at times. He's a finance guy. He's had several businesses, and his strength is finance. And there's times I'm presenting numbers and data that is frustrating to him, and it's frustrating to me. And he always just has really good wisdom. He's always like, "There's an income or an expense problem. Figure it out." It's that simple. It's
Yeah.
really, business is simple. At the same time, he's been through challenges. He's had some huge victories. So to have a person of wisdom that I get the blessing to meet with on a regular basis and have that one-on-one time, he's already been down the path. He's had several different companies. He knows these seasons. He knows what this feels like, and to be reassured and to have somebody coming alongside that, my grandfather is definitely a big piece of my life.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. I think grandfathers, I was talking to Andrew Brown from Brown Wineries, and he was telling me all about his grandfather. And I also, like, I have a great, so many memories of my grandfather. They're kind of like the pillar,
Yeah.
the backbone of a family. And I know that someday you'll be that and you'll be amazing at it.
Thank you.
So we're talking about building what matters, and one of the things that you and I both have already touched on is strong communities. And how much that helps you in times of hardship or need, and how much you can invest into them and the rewards that you reap from that. What would you say is really important to build strong communities? What do you think the components of that are?
I think one thing that's helped that I've noticed is really having a good public-private relationships is super valuable to our community. You can kind of think, well, maybe it's more on the business side or all chamber, but then you're like, well, also the cities or the counties. So I think it's beautiful to see how good public-private work together on various opportunities for all of us. And also to just to cross the aisle back and forth. We all may lean one way politically, but I think it's healthy to have a good cross the aisle viewpoint, opportunity to learn and take passion, take hard beliefs out of it and just look for common good. I think that's beautiful to see it come together like this. I believe in our community. I think it's so valuable to have other key leaders that come alongside us and make this place the best place to do business.
Yeah, man, I would love to have some people work on making it better to do business in Washington State. That would be amazing. I love the way.
I agree.
Yeah.
We have a lot of work to do, Tammy.
Yes, we do. And everybody has to take part. You can't sit back and complain about it without making efforts towards fixing it. So
I
I was
agree.
I was listening to something recently about the tensions that you're talking about. Like we're talking about political tensions, but there can be so many things that can come up about that. But they were asking you in this, I think it was a podcast, to ask yourself, is it possible that both this and this can be true? And if that's so, can we be transformed? Can you think about it and recognize that even though you believe this, that they're right to believe this, and that they may feel equally as strong as you do? And so can you be transformed by that and see something bigger? And I thought that was just a really cool concept,
Yeah.
and really good for trying to move us forward
Yeah.
in this
Love that.
space. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. So what would you say that you and your company is doing right now to build what matters?
Building what matters is certainly if you look at the core of who we are, that ties into what matters to us is whatever we do, whatever we build for us personally and for a community when it comes to media and magazines is a breath of fresh air. So what matters to us is powerful inspiration, powerful encouragement, good news, positive. Our intent is to shine light on all the amazing things going on for our consumer magazine as well for our business community. We're not going to get in the weeds on the garbage and the politics and the heavy-minded things that take us down rabbit holes that are just polarizing. Our intent is to avoid all of that. And so what matters to us is to be a breath of fresh air. And one of those things that spun out for us during COVID was we need more of that than ever before, some encouragement for our community. And so we launched the whole Feel Good Friday mindset so that every Friday our company is producing content and partners that want to align with feel good, like what's going on this week that I want to be aligned with. And so building what matters is be a breath of fresh air, be an inspiration, shine light on legacy businesses like the Poodle Dog, or shine light on a cool Christmas display that you can drive through. So that's what matters to us.
Yeah, and I can say that I know that that's real for you, because we have come into contact with that a couple different times. Like it's been a really important thing to me during this time to promote businesses I care about, and I know that you're all about that. And I was able to just, hey, mention to you Poodle Dog's opening, and you were like all over it, and did a great piece on them to sort of help them get the word out. Um, Even though it was so amazing, we had already had 50,000 people identify with it. So it just tells you what an amazing icon that is, and that was cool in and of itself. That was cool, like to see
Yeah.
the poodle dog be that important to our community, and then for you to rally around it with me and say, hey, let's promote this and let everybody else know. So I really love that about you and about what you're doing. I think you are building what matters and you are making an impact. I'm positive of that. You're a person that I feel like if I have a list of 10 people, I want you on it. So because you bring the mood of the room up, like
Wow,
you bring happiness. Like, so that's a cool thing for me to just to be able to have you in my circle has been really positive and a really cool thing. So obviously we want people to get excited about Feel Good Friday. We want them to be receiving that, right? That's one of the things that is what matters most to you. So how can our listeners find you? How can they get connected and actually be receiving Feel Good Friday and everything else that you guys are publishing?
Wow, thank you. I mean, a plug. This is a chance for a
Yeah,
plug. Wow, thanks, Tammy.
absolutely.
Yeah, we're in business for a reason, right?
Yeah. Yes, we
So
are.
I think end of the day, premiermedia.net is our company site, and then you can go in and engage any one of our brands, whether it's the business brand for South Sound or South Sound Magazine. And then in those brands have their own sites that have their own free e-newsletters. You can sign up and get this content every week. Certainly, you can subscribe to the magazines and support your local publisher and get these magazines mailed right to your home every month. So, yeah, that's the best way to engage. We're certainly available on social media. Yeah, so we're in all your local grocery stores. So we're trying to make sure we're everywhere.
Yeah, I will tell you also, there was an article that we did a while back, and I was blown away by how many people reached out to me because there was a picture of me in your magazine, and my dentist called me. He was so
Yeah.
excited. Like, it was, people were coming from all over, and I thought to myself, man, I mean, this is a really good representation of how much your magazine is out there and impacting people. So it's a great place to advertise as well because people see it and they're excited about it. It's something that people trust and they really look at it. They really read it. So it's
Thank you.
great. Absolutely. So I have some fun rapid fire questions for
Let's
you
do it.
because you're a great sport. So share with me, how do you start your day?
Ooh, this is a hot button for me. I'm a little particular about structure. So my day always starts with exercise. I Every day starts at 5 to 5:30. I used to play hoops in the morning, but older we get, it's not good on the joints. So I picked up Peloton. I'm a huge Peloton fan. I then go and spend time and journal and do a devotion, and then I hop in the hot tub and do some meditation, and then I make breakfast for my little guy, and then by about 7:15, we're good to go to start up the day with typical email, phone calls, Zooms, whatever have you.
Wow, that is such a cool visual for your life. I find it very interesting that you take a hot tub every morning in the morning. But I guess if we're getting older, right? So if you're gonna
Yeah.
exercise, that's probably a good wrap up to that. So what book do you recommend?
Ooh, I just finished two amazing books. I always have a kind of a spiritual health development book. I have a leadership book, and then I have a historical book I always have at my hand. I just finished historical, a great book that I just picked up called The Man Who Broke into Auschwitz. It's a World War II true story of a British forces who was a captured in the camps next to Auschwitz, and he actually broke into Auschwitz to get a sense of what was going on.
Oh,
I just finished Good to Great. Oh no, excuse me. Not Good to Great. Dream Big by
mm.
Bob Goff. Incredible book. And I just let's see. That's the two there. There was. I think those are the two right now that I just finished. So those we'll start
No,
with those.
that's awesome. I had no doubt you were going to be like so excited to answer that question. Um, What's one thing you would put or you have on your bucket list?
I'm a huge, two things I'm passionate about is weather. And so I want to go storm chasing. I would love to go storm chase a hurricane and also tornadoes. And I love rally car racing, like off-road rally car. I'd love to go to an international world rally overseas somewhere.
Wow, that is awesome. I love that. It's so interesting. What's your favorite winter activity?
I love hiking no matter what time of the year. I love the snow. I love cross-country skiing. Snow, I go crazy. I snow dance like crazy. I love the snow. So anything in the snow, count me in.
Snow dance?
Oh,
Like
I just love
like
the
interpretive
snow.
dance, or what are we talking?
No, heck no. And you're not gonna request one either, Tammy, so just let
Okay,
it go.
okay. Oh, I thought that sounded awesome. Very interesting. I know that would interest everyone. So I think this is probably something we all need to know as leaders and just every human being. How do you manage stress?
Certainly it's always a big part of our life, the stress, the anxiety. Um, it's weird. I noticed that if I'm pretty OCD, so when I start cleaning like crazy or organizing, that's one way that honestly helps me to calm the nerves. I love to just get into a drawer or to a room or my laptop, whatever it is. I love it. Organization really helps me to de-stress. Um, Also, exercise is huge. I love to go for a run or ride a bike. My wife and I love to do walks almost every night. So those are one ways where we can go for a walk and just talk things out. Just let things come off the chest that are on your spirit that you
Yeah.
just need to talk it out. And I'm not always looking for answers necessarily, but just a way to talk it out, to be with my bride. That is a great way to manage stress.
Yeah, I would totally agree. We take walks every night as well. Usually at least like 3 miles, and we're taking the dog and just kind of unwinding the day. Very
Yeah.
similar. Unfortunately, where we live, it rains a lot, so
Yep.
it does impact us, but we just got rain gear and we're like, hey, it's that important. We need to do it. So we have literally rain pants, rain coats, and we go out there like a couple of real nerds and make it happen.
Yeah. Same.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you. I want to thank you.
You
Uh,
bet.
I want to thank you for multiple things. I want to thank you for your investment in our community. I want to thank you for the way you care about other businesses and how you freely give. You're very generous in giving of yourself to the community and to other people. And I want to thank you for inviting me into that, because I very much feel like I've benefited from it and I love being part of it. So, and thank you on top of that for coming and talking to me today, for being brave and letting me ask you some fun questions, but also for inspiring other people in some of your answers. So, thank
Thank
you.
you, Tammy. What a treat. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. I'm a big fan of you. It's been nice to get to know you this year, and a lot more opportunities when we can actually physically connect with people in
Yes.
store, right? We'll do
Won't that
some
be
CEO
great?
luncheons.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well,
thank you, friend.
hey, yes, I'll talk to you soon. Thank
Okay.
you.